Say, Lester, what's happening, baby?
I'm a writer. I live alone in this building, alone on this floor. You can't turn the black experience into literature just by writing it down.
Black fiction ain't white. It can't be. We feel different, we white different, our chemistry is different. Dig, I write for the souls of all the black people crying out that we ain't gonna be slaves in this country no more.
1 million black men can have the same appalling experience. It takes one unique man to write it down. Then it's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's a human thing.
Don't tell me how to write. How much more of a coward are you gonna be? Just answer the questions that I laid down. That was my girl.
I'm afraid of what we're doing, even though I want to do it. I'm Willie's Jewish white girl. You trying to save me from a life of poverty and crime as a black man?
We're in love, Bill. We figured you wouldn't care one way or the other because you had more or less broken up with her.
I know him! I know Willie wasn't happy with me anymore. I know him!
Who are you concerned about? Him or me?
I told you that I love you. I'm concerned about Willie.
What are you doing?
You trying to confuse me, man?
Not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And this here is going to be kind of like my first movie review. But this ain't a movie review, it's more of a psychoanalysis of the film called The Tenants. Not to be confused with two other films called The Tenant without an S. This movie is called The Tenants with an S, as in plural. And I don't know why these guys couldn't come up with a more original name, since you already got two movies called The Tenant. But I guess people want somehow have this abysmal movie put in the category, or have people mistaking it for an actual good movie. But you know what I'm saying, let's go in. Now this is one of those kind of like those, supposed to be, I guess, one of them artsy fartsy independent films, some avant-garde type shit, but the movie failed, you know what I'm saying, in so many places. Now the movie ultimately got a horrible reaction and is critically panned. A lot to do with its racial overtones. Now I can understand a movie want to deal with the concept of race and the tension between black people and white people. But this movie is like so one-sided. For white people, I always say Jewish because a Jewish guy made the movie, and the lead protagonist is a Jewish guy, and the antagonist is a black guy. Now, I'm not so shallow to the point where I'm like, okay, I can watch a movie where the white guy's the good guy and the black guy's the bad guy. Yeah, it's no big deal, but the black guy has every single negative trait a human being can have. And I'm going to get into it. You know, it's not that he's a bad guy. I said, I've seen plenty of movies where there's, you know what I'm saying, you have the evil villain or whatever. But usually the bad guy's smart, he's clever, he's sort of diabolical. In this movie, Snoop Dogg was just an ignorant imp. But the movie takes place inside in a dilapidated building. And the movie's actually owned by a guy, an older guy, an elderly man or whatever, a Jewish guy. You know, a Jewish guy owns the building. And, you know what I'm saying, our main protagonist is also Jew. Now, our white boy, our good guy, he has a right to be in the building. His landlord wants to move him out because he's selling the building. But the white dude's like, well, I already got rent paid and so forth. You can't kick me out. And the white guy wants to leave as soon as he gets his novel finished. He is in the movie he portrays a published writer, and he's working on his third novel. You know what I'm saying? He's having a hard time. He's going through writer block or whatever. And inside the building is Snoop Dogg's character. I think his character's name Willie, but I'm gonna call him Snoop Dogg. Now, Snoop Dogg, he's an aspiring writer, but he's a squatter in the building, meaning he doesn't, you know what I'm saying? He's not supposed to be there, you know, and so forth. So that's already one strike against him, but it's no big deal. So then when they started conversing or whatever, and as you've seen in that clip, the white boy is giving him points. So hence, Snoop Dogg is not just only a squatter and want to be an aspiring writer, but he's also has no imagination, no creativity. And the white dudes tell him like, hey man, you can't just, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, a million guys can write, black men can write this story. You got to make the story look unique. Now this goes into black creativity compromised. As if, I guess the movie's trying to send in this jab that a lot of black people, and you know what I'm saying, they piggyback on the type that they're black. Like, well, I'm black, listen to my poem, I'm black. This book is not that good, but it's written by a black man. So, you know what I'm saying, like we seem to want to franchise off our blackness. I don't know. But that's not enough. But and Snoop Dogg's character is also angry, very, very hostile. You know what I'm saying? Very, like he has a chip on his shoulder. Now there's times in that movie where they actually got along or were buddy. But Snoop Dogg always had like a short temper. You know what I'm saying? He's a short fuse. So now that, well, look what we got here. Snoop Dogg's character. He's a squatter. He wants to be a writer, but he's not creative. He's just not good enough to be a writer. And he has a very bad temperament, you know. So he's the typical angry black man. And the white guy is he's a dude who ties up his shoelaces. He's smart. He's witty. He's condescending. He's understanding, and he's helpful, and he's generous. You know, he's a good Samaritan, and whatnot. But you know what I'm saying, it gets worse. Now Snoop Dogg's character actually has he's with a white girl, and even though in a movie Snoop Dogg talks all this black shit, he's as a white girl. That's another jab. I said maybe in a lot of cases it's true. They're saying that a lot of these black dudes that all talk all this black, they want, you know what I'm saying, they want the you know what I'm saying, the white woman. You know what I'm saying, that's who they clamor for. You know what I'm saying, that's their admiration. You know, and so forth. And then in the film, you've seen the white dude around the black dudes. You know what I'm saying? Snoop Dogg's buddies in this movie, and they looked very overbearing, intimidating, you know, angry. Like if you've seen in the trailer, it looks like they're gonna beat him up. See, the trailer actually makes the movie seem worse than what it really is, because really the black dudes were cool with him to a certain point. But the thing is, as that movie goes, the white dude laid some meat down to this black female. When they was at this party, there was a black woman there, and she was all over the white guy. She was all over him like Halle Berry to Billy Bob Thornton in the movie Monster Balls. I'm like, she was like just some sort of harlot or some sort of slut. I'm like, the white guy couldn't even push her off. Like almost like she raped the white guy. You know what I'm saying? Like she was just like the white dude. He didn't have to put his demo down. You know, and the black female was being promiscuous because she had a boyfriend, a black boyfriend. But the movie's trying to get this message that the black woman, she really wants the white dude. You may say I'm far-reaching, but wait, it gets worse. But the white guy, he wanted Snoop Dogg's girlfriend, which was a white woman, a Jew. And Snoop Dogg was not only verbally abusive to her, but he was physically abusive to her. So let's run down Snoop Dogg's character again. Snoop Dogg is an illegal tenant to a building, a squatter. He wants to be a writer, but he's not good enough. He's not educated enough. He's not smart enough. He has no creativity or no imagination. He's angry. He has a chip on his shoulder. He has a short fuse. And he talks all this black stuff, but he's with a white girl, and he's a woman beater. So you get where I'm saying. Now there's a reason why this movie didn't go over too good with the white liberals and so forth. You know, And so by the end of the movie, you know what I'm saying, the white guy, he wants to be captain, you know, save him, save her. So, you know what I'm saying, so he wants her, and he wants to deliver this white woman from the evil, long, you know what I'm saying, the long stringy fingers of Snoop Dogg and so forth. So he gets into a tussle with him, and he bested Snoop Dogg in a fight. Now, I don't remember much about the fight at the end. I don't know if he kills her. I don't know if he was beating her up, and at the last moment, the white female came and hit Snoop Dogg with a bat or something. I don't know. But other than that, I think he did beat Snoop up. You know what I'm saying? I think, but they were using melee weapons. They were hitting each other with the typewriters and so forth. Now, bear in mind, this movie does take place in the 70s when people still use typewriter. You know, the old school analog typewriters. Yeah. So I'm like, so you get the gist, you know what I'm saying? You got this white dude who saves the white female from the black guy. You know, and there's so much racial overtones, and it's like one of those movies that make you want to say burn, Hollywood burn, and just overall it was just a horrible, it was a dreadful movie. It was unpleasant. You know, I wished I didn't see it. You know, I was like, I like that movie trailer I showed you pretty much showed the movie. I showed you all the plot points of the movie and so forth. So thanks for watching, and Sally forth.